really going to be, you want to talk about threatening life and property. This is really, if you ask any meteorologist here, this is one that we are very, very concerned about.
And it's sort of a side story with Joaquin.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So here are the players there. You've got Joaquin, and you have a stalled boundary. And anytime you have a stalled boundary, you can get a little ripple, area of low pressure. And we do think that that's going to remain very close to the southeast coast. And because of that, and Jess, it's not advancing for me here, so if you wouldn't mind clicking for me, this is going to bring not only moisture that's already there and available, but potential interaction with tropical moisture.
And it's also important to note, Marie, when you look at where the flood watches are, I mean, we're looking at right now a hurricane that's in the Bahamas. So this is a separate deal.
Right.
We're looking at a huge rain threat from the mountains to the coast here.
And I think the mountains is also a key point because of the flow that moisture is going to take. You have orographic lifting, the enhancement of the rainfall potential because of the mountains. So we take a look. Raleigh's in it. So look at how much inland areas are going to be impacted by huge amounts of rain. Asheville, 8 to 12. You could see in parts of Virginia a foot to a foot and a half of rainfall over a few days. Right now, the heaviest is the Outer Banks. So they're experiencing some nasty squally weather, but you time step it forward, Chris, and look at how it just kind of lingers in this area, and it's persistence and days worth of rain that could be a huge, huge impact here.
And we're going to go to the coast, talk to Mike Seidel, talk about
we're kind of holding our breath and hoping for the best.
Exactly right. But as we look what's behind you, Maria, you see all of that red, and there's a lot of colors on this map, but the red is what you need to focus on because that is where you have some of the most intense moisture available, essentially, for rain.
If we could tap in and maximize the atmospheric moisture, you're seeing the bullet, the center here, those darker shades of color, really where you're at the richest moisture available. But the setup is there regardless of where Joaquin is going, and that's one of the important messages we want to communicate. Look at the boundary, and as long as that boundary doesn't move, you're seeing the atmosphere not really change a whole lot there. And then you get a little wave, that area of low pressure. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to enhance the lift where you're producing the showers, but also enhance the motion, the pulling in of that extra moisture off the Atlantic. And that is huge when it comes to where the rainfall is going to be not only the heaviest, but perhaps the most dangerous. We're really concerned about some of the mountain areas here from North Carolina into South Carolina. But there are places that are so socked in with rainfall recently. We're thinking about you, Charleston. You flood very easily. You're in that red area, which could be as much as 8 to 12. But look at all that rain inland. One of those huge impacts that we're concerned about. Asheville, you're in that red area. You could end up with 8 to 12 inches of rainfall, and that would be disastrous. And you say in the next 3 hours, that area in yellow, how much would have to fall in that 3 hours to flood? Less than 2.5 inches in some of these spots, and that's easily the kind of scenario that we're looking at to exceed that amount of rainfall in 3 hours. So very susceptible to flooding and flash flooding. Roanoke, Charlotte, Raleigh, Wilmington, Norfolk, up into D.C., which of course you've just gotten out of incredible rainfall earlier this week. You two are in that area, but you can see over the past 7 days where some of that some of the heaviest rain has fallen, and those are areas that are very susceptible.